will almost certainly put Belgium through to the knockout rounds, barring some mathematical vagaries in that group. Matt Holland, Belgium versus Tunisia. Potential is a word that often comes up when you speak about this golden generation of Belgian players. I know credentials cannot be judged by performances against Panama or even, say, Tunisia today. But in that second half, Belgium showed what they have when things get going.
Yeah, we all know that in at least 8 to 9 positions of the starting 11, they have immense quality. Immense quality. You're talking even about Kevin De Bruyne, one of the top players in the world. So I think although they were a little bit slow to start at 0-0 in the first game, and as you've said, some of the stats we spoke about off air, they have tended to take leads in the second half. I don't foresee this being too much of a problem in this game.
You mentioned the bit about not getting going. Just before we get onto that board, Matt, this tendency of being slow starters, you look at the last 3 majors, the 2014 World Cup, the 2016 Euros and this one game here. Belgium have scored 17 goals, of which 15 have come in the second half. That, you feel, is an area where Tunisia could look to do something as you lay it up on this board?
I mean, just looking at, for example, Belgium's system that they play. They play a 3-4-3. I mean, for Tunisia, they will go up against Belgium in a slightly different shape. But it's important to highlight, I think, Kevin De Bruyne and his quality. He will operate in these areas. But for me, it's not too much of a problem that they're not really scoring early. They are controlling games. They don't really look at too much of a threat, and they've always got an outlet in terms of Lukaku. And even just highlighting Hazard here, and Dries Mertens also. I'll just go back one. Apologies. Even highlighting Hazard, Dries Mertens. With these 4 players, goals can come at any minute of the game. So although that stat is quite alarming in some cases, I don't think it's too troublesome for the coaching staff.
And from a Tunisian perspective, Matt, you look at their game against England, just the 1 shot on target, which too was the penalty that they got through Kyle Walker's foul. If they keep this factor of Belgium in mind, is there something they look to do differently? Maybe go a little gung-ho in the first half?
Well, I've set the team up here at Tunisia with a back 4. The 3 in midfield and obviously 3 forwards. In this shape, ultimately what can happen is if you just go a little bit further forward, this type of shape in midfield, what could actually happen is that because Belgium have a back 3, we can isolate this ball here, and then what you have is you have a 2v2 in the middle. So of course it's not easy to mark against Kevin De Bruyne. But instead of allowing these players, Toby Alderweireld, for example, coming out with the ball in a wider area, there's an opportunity for the midfield players to step in, and then the defensive midfield player for Tunisia, instead of being in this position, he can just step on into the midfielder and force a little bit more pressure on the Belgian back 3 when they're playing forward.
That's the tactics of it explained. When it comes down to the action on the pitch, Matt, you don't see Tunisia troubling Belgium too much, do you?
No, I mean, it's of course very easy to show it on a board here. We can never come away from the fact that Belgium have immense quality. They have a coach that's relatively experienced. I mean, I know quite a lot about him. He's done his education at my home federation in Wales. But they have world-class players, and you have to manage them and motivate them, but they have quality to beat any team in the tournament, really.
All right, any team in the tournament. Brave call from Matt Holland. So tipping Belgium to get the job done against Tunisia.